everybody, welcome to today's video. So today we are going to be doing a drugstore starter kit, and basically I'm just going to go through all of the product that fits. Not really, it doesn't fit, the back is open, but all of the products in here, and I'm just going to run through every single category of makeup, and I am going to give you some recommendations for those specific steps. So like everywhere between like primer, foundation, concealer, etc. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alrighty, so the first thing I would like to recommend is a primer, because primer comes first. And I used to not believe in primer. I used to not really care and always skip it. And really, this Revlon Photo Ready primer has kind of changed the game. It works with every single skin type, and it is brightening. It's their brightening primer, the Revlon Photo Ready brightening primer. It smooths into the skin. I think I mentioned this in my underrated drugstore makeup, my gems of the drugstore video, and this one is truly a gem, and not many people talk about it, and so here's the second shout out that it's getting on my channel. It is so smoothing, and it's not hydrating, but it's also not drying. So it really is just that perfect balance of a primer, and it's so easy for beginners to use. The pump is really easy to control, and it brightens, and it just makes your skin look healthier. It smooths the pores. It's kind of just like an all-in-one type kind of a product, and I really, really would recommend this. And it's affordable. That's why we're doing drugstore style. Alrighty, so next I have a foundation for you guys, and the one that I want to recommend is the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir. So even if you didn't have the pump, it still locks, so you could very easily travel with this. It comes in a glass bottle or like a hard plastic. It's a very thin formula, so it's likely to work for a lot of different skin types. It does look beautiful on mature skin. It looks beautiful on my skin. Unfortunately, I just have too dark of a shade for myself, but I have it in the shade 710, and I recently found out that they have a lighter shade, 705, so I am definitely going to be giving this to my mom and purchasing a lighter shade. But the reason why I want to recommend this over like anything else in my collection is because it's so easy. It is such an easy foundation. It gives light to medium coverage. It is definitely very buildable, and you can apply it with a brush and a sponge, and it looks beautiful either way. I prefer to do it with a sponge just because it soaks up that extra product just in case, and it just looks absolutely so beautiful. It looks so flawless with your skin. It looks like it's one with the skin, and it's super easy for beginners that you really can't mess up on. This is the first foundation that I ever purchased actually, and I'm very, very happy that I did. Okay, next I want to do concealer. So the one that I want to recommend, especially for beginners, is the Milani Retouch and Erase Light Lifting Concealer. I really like this one. Sorry, the packaging is disgusting and dirty, but it is such a creamy formula. This is like a special concealer. It is medium to full coverage, more full coverage than anything. And I have it in the shade 01 Fair. It blends out into the skin seamlessly. It is seamless, and you really don't find that often with concealers. Now, I have a lot of fine lines underneath my eyes. More fine lines than the average teenager, let's say. So this doesn't sink into my fine lines. You have to set it, of course. You have to set all creams. Most. And once you set it, it just gives the most beautiful look, and it doesn't create more like lines, and it doesn't crack, and it doesn't like crumble. And I've tried some concealers that do that, and this does not. It just sinks into the skin, and it looks one with your skin, except for it's like flexible. I don't get it. It's so cool. I love it. Oh, I love it. I need to repurchase a new one because I'm running out. I am running low. Alright, so now let's talk about some powder. So I have a loose setting powder to recommend to you, and also a pressed powder. Here it is. Okay, so the loose setting powder that you saw me hold up just a second ago, is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. They come in different shades, from light to dark, and I think that's really cool because this will work for so many different skin tones, because it's also like translucent but not has that tint to it, so it really seriously won't give any white cast, which I think is incredible and amazing, and go Maybelline. And it's just such a finely milled and thin powder. It holds your makeup in place all day long. I am wearing it today over top of the Flower Beauty Light Illusion foundation. It definitely mattifies. It is definitely a mattifying powder, and it soaks up dewiness and oil, because the Flower Beauty Light Illusion foundation is a very dewy foundation. But whenever I put this over top, it was like matte, which is fine. I prefer a dewier look, but this really does hold your makeup in place, and it doesn't accentuate the dry patches. It doesn't accentuate the dry patches. Every other loose powder that I've ever tried has always accentuated my dry patches, and this one doesn't, and I think that's amazing. I'm very impressed with this, and I would highly recommend this for beginners. It's just very basic packaging, so if you have the hang of it, then it won't be that messy, and if you don't have the hang of it, it's gonna be messy. So it's kind of just that small learning curve that you learn very quickly, and you're good to go, and this is great. Now, the pressed powder, this is from Wet n Wild, and it's their photo focus pressed powder. I have it in the shade Warm Light. If you guys are anywhere close to my skin tone, I have beat this thing up. It used to be a total dome, and now it is almost completely flat. So yeah, that's my pressed powder. This is so creamy. This is unbelievably creamy. Unbelievably creamy, unbelievably pigmented. I wore this for 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row, and I didn't get sick of using this. I was like, every single time I put my sponge in here, my brush in here, whatever I used that day, I was always like re-impressed with like the magic of this powder. It is so flawless. It gives an airbrushed effect all over the skin. So full coverage. I ran out of concealer over my trip, and all I would do is dip into a dry sponge. This is not dry, but I would dip my dry sponge into this powder, and I would press it under my eyes, and it would look seamless. Seamless, and it would not crack, it would not crumble, it would not like create more fine lines, it wouldn't sink into my fine lines, and crease. It was amazing. Like, I don't want to use actual concealer anymore. I just want this. It's so good. And I recommend this as well for all skin types. I feel like this would work with all skin types. Now, brows. Alright, so the brow pencil that I have fallen in love with is the Maybelline, not Milani, the Maybelline Total Temptation Brow Pencil. Now, this has kind of like a teardrop / diamond point to it, so if you're not a fan of that, then you might not like this, but just try it. Just try it. So that is what the tip looks like. It is a teardrop / diamond shape, and it disperses just the right amount of product. It's not too creamy, it's not too hard or stiff. It is just the perfect formula, and it makes doing your eyebrows so easy. Oh my gosh, unbelievably easy and quick. As soon as you get the hang of doing your brows, it's like, whew, it's so easy. The spoolie on the other side is weird, but it just works like any other spoolie. I'm using this in my brows today. I used this for the whole 2 weeks that I was gone, or 3 weeks, whatever, and it's just boop. It's so easy. It is so easy to just, it's so quick, it's so beginner friendly, and I highly recommend it. Clear brow gel, Essence, anybody, this is so easy. If you don't want to fill in your brows because you already have very naturally thick brows, and some days I kind of just skip doing my brows. I don't even have that thick of brows. I'm just lazy, and I'll just comb this through, and it's just the perfect shape of a spoolie, and I can just perfectly shape them and run this through. It's so quick, and it's not too wet of a formula. It doesn't like ball together. I know some clear brow gels do this, and this is probably the most affordable brow gel at the drugstore. So good. $2.50. You're welcome. Alright, next we are going to talk about bronzer. So I don't have this on hand with me. It shattered and then I threw it away because I did an empties video. It's the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. That is the bronzer that I would recommend at the drugstore. Now, it wouldn't work for all skin tones. So that's why I'm kind of holding off on maybe like making it a for sure recommendation, because they did expand their shade range, but it's still not deep enough for some skin tones. So really, yes, I would recommend the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer if you like, if you can find your shade, get it. It's worth it. It's so beautiful. It's like, it's just a perfect natural finish. It's not matte and it's not shimmer. It's so in between, and it's so perfectly formulated and creamy and easy to disperse product. It's so foolproof and I love it, and it shattered, so I can't really show it to you because I threw it away after my empties video and I forgot I was going to be filming this video and mentioning in it. Yeah, so if you can't find your shade, I don't really know, but that one, heaven. So let's talk about blush now. Now this is definitely very inclusive. Every single person will find something that would work for them, and it's the Wet n Wild Coloricon blushes. So I have 3 shades out of this line. I have Pearlescent Pink, Rosé Champagne, and Mellow Wine. Mellow Wine is that peach nude with a hint of like rose to it, and this will definitely work for pretty much everybody. I think it's a pretty good medium shade. I can wear it with my fair skin tone. I have it on today. You can definitely wear this with deep skin tones. It's pigmented enough to do that. They're so soft and creamy and smooth. Like, you can be very light-handed with it and still get color. You can be very heavy-handed with it and it could still just blend away easily. So the next shade is Rosé Champagne. This is the one that I traveled with and I absolutely love it. It's a light peach with a lot of nude in it. Mellow Wine was matte, by the way, and Rosé Champagne has a hint of shimmer like strewn about it, and it's so pretty. This shade is absolutely gorgeous. Next we have Pearlescent Pink. It's a warm pink with gold shimmer in it. Yep, that's what it is. It's really pretty, and it's kind of like the opposite of my Mary Kay Shy Blush. This is a cool pink with shimmer in it, but this is just so unique. Like, you can't really compare this to anything. But this is absolutely gorgeous. All 3 of these are absolutely stunning colors, and they have a very wide shade range. They have a couple more that I saw. One was a very bright, cool pink. Another one was a very peach, mid-tone peach color with a little bit of shimmer in it. They were all very wearable, and they were like, you could always find your shade in that range. And the formula is absolutely fantastic. Okay, plus they're only like $2 or $2.99. I forgot which. They were affordable. Alright, next I have a highlighter to recommend to you guys. So I'm sick. I'm sorry. I just really wanted to film this video, but I am sick. So if my voice is annoying you because I'm raspy, I'm very sorry. But this is the Physicians Formula Shimmer Strips. I can't talk today. And I really love this because you can get a highlighter for anybody out of here. You have the deeper range, you have them, you can mix it all together to get some medium, you have the lighter range. This is beautiful as eyeshadow, highlight. I have used it for everything. where you could put shimmer on your face. It is so easy and versatile. I love it. I love it. I love it. I think I mentioned this in my very first video, which was my favorites video and my May favorites, and this will continue to pop up in my videos in the future, including this one. And so yeah, this is just such a smooth, creamy, buttery highlight. You really can't go wrong with it. You can get super natural looks out of this. You can get super heavy bam in your face highlights. It's just a really cool product, and it's so smooth. It is such a smooth, creamy formula, and it just blends right into the skin. I love it. All right, next we are going to be talking about eyeshadow from the drugstore. So I guess the one, like the eyeshadow formula that I like the best from the drugstore is probably Milani. Milani and their small little palettes, their everyday eyes, are fantastic. I have the version everyday, no, this is not everyday eyes, earthy elements, but they have a more cool toned one. They have a purple one. They have like a colorful one. They have a metallic one. They have a completely matte one. They have something a little bit more brown than this. They have a great variety of options to choose from. And I know that they just came out with their 20 pan palettes, and or no, not 20 pan palettes. They're $20 eyeshadow palettes. I think they have like 12 shades in them or something. And I really want to try that because I really like this formula. The mattes are so buttery, and then the shimmers are so creamy, and everything is very pigmented, and just really easy to blend out, very easy to build up if needed. So here are swatches of that palette, and you can just see all of them. They're so easily blendable. They're so pigmented, but not too pigmented to where it's hard to blend. It's really, really a great formula, perfectly balanced, and really, like, they look like expensive eyeshadows. And plus the packaging is super convenient, just being in this cute little gold compact. They were really smartly laid out, and I think that Milani did a really good job combining the perfect color combination to create complete looks with every single shade. Alright, for single eyeshadows, the one single eyeshadow from the drugstore that you absolutely need if you're close to my skin tone is the Wet n Wild Shadow in Brulee. This is so amazing. I already hit pan on this shade, and I think I have owned this for a month. This specific one. So yeah, it's very tiny dent, but I made it. And you can just see how pigmented it is, how smooth and blendable and creamy it is. I use this every single day to set down my primer or my concealer, you know, whatever I use to kind of prime my eyes. I use this to blend the brow bone and around the edges of that to, you know, make everything seamless. It is such a good formula, and this shade specifically is amazing. Okay, as another single shadow, but also like the cream shadow that I want to recommend from the drugstore if you're into that, are the Revlon Colorstay cream eyeshadows. And I have the shade 740 Black Currant, I'm pretty sure it is. And these are really cool because they work the best with a brush, and they give super duper intense pigment and shimmer and shine, and they just look glamorous. And that is a swatch with the brush, and then compared to the finger, it's a mistake to use your finger. Comparatively, finger, brush. Just use the brush, okay? The brush is your friend. So I really like this because they're super easy to use. This is a perfect base for really any cool toned smoky eye, and especially when I'm just in the mood for purples. I love it. But they also have really pretty neutral shades. Creme Brulee, it's like a beautiful champagne gold. I forgot what it looked like, but I used to own it and then it dried out, so you really have to be careful to tighten these all the way. But this has lasted me, this one specifically has been in my collection for I think like 2 years now, and it hasn't dried out yet, so yay! Okay, getting down to the end, sort of. Alrighty, so for eyeliner, I really only use black eyeliner, and I really don't do the whole liquid liner, gel liner type kind of a thing. I want to get into that someday, but right now I'm just doing pencil liner in my waterline, and that's really it. So I tight line with the Milani waterproof eyeliner. It's in their Stay Put line. I really, really like it. It is so creamy. It just glides across the tight line so smoothly and easy. You don't have to tug at your eye. It is such an easy formula to work with, and I highly recommend this. However, you will need waterproof makeup remover. It stays on. It stays on. It does not transfer. Heaven in an eyeliner, and it's great. I really, really love this eyeliner. So yeah, you might want to check this out. It's that good. Alright, so for mascara, I have a couple ones that I want to recommend. If you like bigger lashes, and if you're not starting out completely like brand new to makeup, then I would recommend the Maybelline Total Temptation mascara. I have it in the shade Blackest Black. Now this is also very easy for beginners to use. It's just a natural bristled cone-shaped wand. It is very, very basic, and it's so easy to apply. I have it on my eyelashes today, and you can just see like it just gives volume, it gives length, it curls. It holds the curl, and it just makes your lashes look really fluffy and beautiful, which is everything a mascara wants to do. But, however, if you are afraid of having big lashes, and if you just want something that's very natural and very like lengthening but not necessarily voluminizing, because I remember when I was first starting out in makeup, I did not like the big chunky lashes. I have grown to love that, but I started out with just using the Maybelline Lash Discovery mascara, and I had it in waterproof. And I love this mascara because it was so thin and tiny and really easy to manipulate under the lashes and make it go where you want to go. Over time, however, like you can just see like the plastic wand kind of bends around, so you have to be really careful, and it's fragile. Fragile. So in my last video I did with the Mary Kay lip gloss, because I was like talking about products that what was I talking about? I can't remember. But anyway, it was like this one, and I was like A+++++++++. I was quoting the Christmas Story, and so whenever I just said fragile, I was like fragile. I don't know why. I've been quoting the Christmas Story a lot recently. But anyway, back on track. So it's just a really easy wand to make it go where you want to go. Put the mascara where you want to put it. It dries really quickly, and it gives a lot of length, and you can build volume with it if you want. But it's just super easy, and it doesn't make you look, like, oh my gosh, you're wearing mascara. It's like, oh, like she looks nice, she looks put together. You know, it's just a very natural mascara, and it's super, super easy to use as a beginner especially. So I would highly recommend this if you are a beginner. Or if you also don't like the heaviness of mascara, this one's great. This one is great. For the longest time, I just remember this, like just putting dots of this on my mascara and like just lightly touching my lashes with it, and then taking a separate spoolie and brushing it through, and it looked nice. It looked nice. It was not like ginormous lashes, but it was good. Alrighty, so I talked about mascara for such a long time. I am on the wrong page of my notes. So I have notes for every single video that I film. And I was, my friend actually, she just FaceTimed me, and that's why I kind of like rough transition. Sorry. And I was talking videos about like that I already filmed yesterday and stuff, so it was on the wrong page, but back on the right page. I am over explaining. Okay, now to lipstick. I have to recommend the Revlon Super Lustrous lipsticks. My favorite shade is Pink in the Afternoon. It is such a beautiful, warm, peachy pink. and it will look good on everybody. This will look good on people with very fair skin. Tan skin, oh my gosh, it would look so pretty with people on tan skin. I feel like this would also look good on people with deep skin. It's just such a wearable shade, and the formula is absolutely stunning. It is creamy, it is very easy to apply. If you prefer matte lipsticks, Revlon also has a line of matte lipsticks, but so does Maybelline. Maybelline does their mattes so well. I used to have a couple. They have died since then. That was a couple years ago. But I remember really enjoying their formula. Lip liner, I want to recommend the Milani formula. This is such a creamy, pigmented lip liner. That is fantastic, is it not? It's so pretty. I have it in the shade 02 True Red. And I want more shades of this. I know Spice is a really popular one from Milani. And these are the color statement, right? Yeah, color statement lip liners. I think that they are fantastic. Look, this was a swatch from earlier on my hand of it, and it is stained, and it has stayed. And yeah, these are very creamy, very easily applied, and they shape your lips out great, and they're just kind of foolproof. Now, would I recommend a red to a beginner? I don't know, like that's just, it's your comfort zone, but I know Spice is a really popular nude, and that is definitely on my list to purchase. Alright, so last but certainly not least, we have setting spray. Now, the one that I want to recommend is probably the cheapest that you can find at the drugstore, and it's from Essence, and it's their makeup fixing spray. Right? Yes. Keep it perfect. Makeup fixing spray. Yeah, so I really enjoy this. The mister is pretty gosh darn good, and what I like about it most is that it, didn't want to waste it. It makes your makeup sink into your skin. It perfectly melts your makeup into your skin and melds everything together. Like whenever I feel like, ooh, that highlighter is looking a bit too kicky, I'll just use this and it's good to go. Oh, I have way too much powder on. Like if I over powdered, then you can just spray that on your face and you're good to go. I would be careful doing this after you have your mascara done. However, because I did that today, I forgot to do it before I applied eyeshadow and mascara, and it ended up looking good, but I did have a little bit of lower lash line mascara transfer because of that. So you do have to be careful on how you spray this and like in which step you use it as. I would not use this as your final step. I would use this as an in-between step. So yeah, that is everything that I wanted to share with you guys today in my Drugstore Starter Kit. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you found it helpful, and if you did, I would love for you to subscribe and thumbs this video up. And I love the drugstore. I love giving you guys reviews of the drugstore and recommendations because there are so many good products out there from them. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!